mandatory, and the WBO have ordered a mandatory between him and Usyk, between Joe. In fact, he was texting me last night about the fight. Look, Daniel Dubois is the IBF champion. He's on a real roll. He fought Usyk, and there was a lot of controversy in that fight. It's a natural rematch, and the 4 belts will be on the line. And I think that's the direction, I'm just got to be honest, the direction I would prefer to go, because I think it's a bigger fight. I think it fills up Wembley, or if we go to Riyadh, it's a huge fight. And the winner of that fights Joe Parker, because the WBO fight title is the next in line for the mandatory defences, so Joe's in there, and we give Joe a fight in the meantime, and whatever happens, he's got the winner and fighting for the 4 belt.
Okay, so I just got done watching a very brief interview with Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren. They did it on TalkSport with Jeff Sterling, and there's a lot of things to, again, not a long interview, not a lengthy interview to say. I mean, it was mainly, at the start, it was mainly, they actually played the team song for Friends by, I think they were called the Remembrance or something like that. And, you know, while they were playing that, they were playing some of the less pleasant things, we'll say, that both men said about each other respectively in the past. And obviously, that taking all that out to one side, the question came up about Daniel Dubois versus Oleksandr Usyk, the rematch. And before I talk about that, it's actually very interesting. Now, if you listen to it, again, I could be making something out of nothing here, right? So I'm just going to chuck that in there straight away. But they mentioned Turkey. Frank Warren mentioned Turkey. Now, you would say, gee, come on, what's new about that? I mean, the promoters all do. They do, but this is the only time I can actually remember Frank Warren actually addressing Turkey as Turkey. Normally, when it's Frank and Eddie, in particular Frank, it's His Excellency. It's always His Excellency. Now again, making something out of nothing there, but, you know, it's just, it is different. Frank Warren, it's always been, oh, whatever His Excellency wants, and now it's, oh, let's see what Turkey wants. You're like, interesting. It's a bit of a change. It's the first thing I picked up on. But the question of Dubois versus Usyk 2, Oleksandr Usyk has made no secret of the fact that that's what he wanted to do. I thought that Oleksandr Usyk after Fury should have retired. I really do. I think what a great way to go out. He wants to have 2 more fights. And in reality, the Dubois fight will be, in reality, it's his last fight, you know. He wants to fight an MMA guy for his last fight. That's going to be a bit of a gimme fight, you know, that sort of way. It's a bit like with Floyd Mayweather, you know, officially Conor McGregor is his last fight, but a lot of us really look at the Andre Berto fight and say, that's really your last proper fight. Proper fight where I don't think any of us gave Andre Berto a shot at winning, but you thought it was potentially conceivable, because at least he was an actual fighter. Whereas McGregor, we all know. So we kind of look at this fight as Usyk's last fight. But the problem is, it's kind of like, well, it's another rematch. You've already beaten him soundly. It's not like there's any controversy. I know it's mainly the Fury fans, really. You know, they were the ones who were really kind of... And the ironic thing is, they say, well, you know, Usyk had his shorts up too high and Tyson Fury in the rematch had them damn near up to his chest. Unbelievable. But it was a low blow. It was really a low blow. When you look at it, and you really have to look closely at it, yeah, it was low. And Oleksandr Usyk, they say, oh, well, it was illegal what he did by staying down. So what, when they tell you you've got 5 minutes, it's illegal to take the 5 minutes? Really? That's illegal now? Come on, give me a break. I don't think that warrants this fight, to be honest with you. I don't think that that's so much of a bit of controversy, especially considering that the WBA were A-OK with the referee ruling it a low blow. There was no issue from them either. So for that reason, I think that there really is no point. I'd like to see Usyk personally. Joseph Parker was mentioned, he's the mandatory. That's who I'd rather see Usyk fight, because I've seen him fight Dubois. I've seen him do it already, and I wouldn't be unhappy with it necessarily, but I would rather see him fight Joseph Parker. It's a new face, it's a different style, it's a different challenge. I would make Usyk favourite against Parker, but goddamn, Parker's been looking good as of late, and he's a bit more aggressive under Andy Lee. He's a different style altogether to work out for Oleksandr Usyk and Daniel Dubois. However, having said that, I do think Daniel Dubois this time around, it will be more competitive. Dubois is looking a lot more confident, he's a lot more sure of himself. He is looking quite good, you know, in the open workouts we've seen in Riyadh before the last crescendo. Obviously, I know he didn't fight on it. He did look really good. I thought he looked very sharp. So Dubois against Usyk now, it's an interesting fight. I still make Usyk favourite, but there you go. Frank Warren also confirmed that it will go ahead for Undisputed. It will be. The 4 belts will be on the line. I know, obviously, Joseph Parker has been announced that, well, he's obviously mandatory. We already know about that. And obviously, Joseph Parker, the WBO actually called that mandatory. Frank Warren has said that no, categorically, it will be for Undisputed. Eddie Hearn, obviously, he's not... he isn't the promoter of Team Parker or anyone like that, so it's all in with Queensbury, except for Oleksandr Usyk, but essentially it's all in Queensbury, really. You know, Usyk being the exception, he's kind of out there, he can do what he likes, but Frank Warren has stated that it will be for Undisputed. So, look, I love Undisputed, I do. I absolutely do. I think with the heavyweight division, we went 25 years without Undisputed, and we really did have 1 and 2 in the division. Now you could argue, and actually I think it's a fair point, that we have 1 and 2 going for it again. For some reason, it doesn't have the same allure this time. I don't know about you, but for me it just doesn't feel like it has that same, oh my god, Undisputed. It'll be nice. We've seen Oleksandr Usyk do it. I think we'll see him do it again. And I guess it is another thing to add to the legacy, I guess, that, you know, well, I'm the first 2-time Undisputed Heavyweight Champion. And okay, fair enough. You know, it's a new one. First 2-time in the 3-belt and 4-belt era, because no one did it in the 3-belt era. Holyfield came close against Lennox Lewis in the rematch, but he didn't do it. Mike Tyson, none of them did it. So, yeah, he would be the first. So, again, it's something to add to the legacy. But, you know, I would rather see... At this minute, personally for me, what do I think boosts Oleksandr Usyk's legacy more? Becoming a 2-time Undisputed, first in the 4-belt era, or fighting more of your contemporaries while you have the chance, while you're still useful? Because at the end of the day, you're talking over the course of the last 4 years. And this is, I don't like this, right? As much as I respect Oleksandr Usyk, I think he's got all-time great. You will have fought 2 fights with Anthony Joshua. You'll have fought 2 fights with Tyson Fury, and then 2 fights with Daniel Dubois. I don't like that. No. I know Undisputed, all that, but really the rematches are a little bit... They're not for me. Not to that extent anyway. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'll also touch on Eddie Hearn on his comments on Parker. You will have heard some of it at the start of this video. I'll play more in the next video, so I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for that. Until next time, people. I'll leave it there. Hope you enjoyed it. Peace.